Welcome to the RedefineU Mind, Body, and Biz Summit. We have expert speakers from every industry who have come together to help you level up in every area of your life. We want you to get the most out of this session. So take a seat, silence your phone, grab a pen and notebook, and get prepared to be redefined.
Blessings, blessings, RedefineU Summit attendees. I am so grateful to be in front of you today. Listen, because I never thought in a million years that I would actually be in front of you. Because as a young girl, I suffered from low self-esteem, PTSD, trauma, rejection, abandonment. I was so paralyzed in fear that even when I try to open my mouth to speak or defend myself, it would result to me bursting out in tears. But I am here in front of you today because I decided to not allow my past to dictate my future. And I also decided to tap into the power of cultivating you. Hi, my name is Keisha Hoff, ambassador and founder of Warrior Lifestyle Solutions, where I equip and empower leaders who have been rooted and walked in obscurity with their voices subdued, take the courageous steps towards true sustainable change within so they can arise with confidence and become the mighty warriors that they were created to be. Listen, we can build, we can brand, we can launch until we're blue in the face, until we're exhausted. But I'm here to tell you that your greatest life work will be the cultivation of you, which encompasses your personal and spiritual development. The relationship with yourself, the kingdom inside of you, should be your top priority. Why, you ask? Because without it, you are at risk of an identity crisis, hence allowing the world to define you. To define you. And that is not what we want. You should be the definer. The kingdom inside of you defines you. And never allow anyone to define you. God has placed a beautiful garden on the inside of you. And it is our responsibility to cultivate, garden, and till the ground so we can be vibrant, fragrant, and prevent delay, but bloom in season. How, you say? Well, let me tell you the first thing you can do to begin the cultivation of you, which is learning to live from the inside out. Learning to live from the inside out really requires for you to be courageous. It's a courageous act of the willingness to tell yourself the truth. Telling yourself the truth means that you stop covering up what's going on inside of you. It means you get really honest, you get really naked in your own presence. And you start telling yourself the truth about your habits, your behaviors, the choices you made that have not been beneficial to your life. These are steps that I had to take myself because I suffered, as I said, through so much rejection and abandonment. And you can only imagine that it caused so much harm in my life. I went through so many repossessions and in life and moving from home to home because of the choices I made, because I did not take the time to cultivate myself, to heal. I allowed my circumstances to tell me who I was. I was just riddled in fear. I was afraid, and I just really suffered from an identity crisis because I thought I was nothing better than what life told me I was. I didn't think I was able to transcend my circumstances. I didn't think I had the ability to become better. But here I am today. Telling yourself the truth also means that you get honest, that you also take responsibility for the choices you make, and that you take an honest look at where these choices have gotten you, just like the example I just gave you. That I really had to look at myself. I got tired of blaming the world for where I was in life. I got tired of blaming the world for the choices I made, the relationships I was in, and the way I wasn't excelling in life. I got tired, so I really had to take an analysis of my life. And when I did a survey of, who was responsible, I found out that I was the common denominator. I was a common denominator in my own demise, that I was a contributor to my own abuse. So this is why cultivating the business of you absolutely has to start from the inside out. It is an inside job. You have to learn to have a lifestyle of reflection on what's happening on the inside of you, so you can avoid projecting your hurts and pains on the people and the loved ones on the outside of you. But I must tell you something. I'm really not trying to shove religion down your throat, but I would be remiss not to tell you that this particular key to cultivating the business of you is not obtainable without partnering with the Spirit of the living God to show you who you truly are, to purify your identity, to help you relinquish the war that may be going on inside of you. Living from the inside out is a lifestyle of transformation and introspection. It is a lifestyle of transformation and continuous introspection. Cultivating the business of is also beneficial in leadership, because it helps you to become a more effective leader. A Forbes article I read, written by Steven Surtick in 2019, stated, as a leader, you have a responsibility to the people around you to invest in your own development. If you want to help your team grow, you need to be doing things to help you grow and to be a better leader. You need to find safe spaces that will take you out of your comfort zone and help you think differently, to test and stretch your limits. If you don't, your team and the people around you will outgrow you. You will stagnate, and as I say, you will forever remain the same. We are not called to walk in stagnation. We are not called to remain the same way we began. We are called to cultivate. We are called to arise. We are called to increase. We are called to develop. We are called to become greater than our original condition. We are called to be better for all the greater good of humanity. Let's be honest. A leader who has not taken time to cultivate themselves really can't effectively lead anyone. It's pretty much like the blind leading the blind. It will be like, most effective leaders are the ones who are passionate about doing what's best for the greater good of all. Personal development, I must tell you, it is not a passive posture. It is not for the faint at heart. That's probably why many people run away from it. Because they really don't want to do the introspective work. They really don't want to take the time to heal, to evolve, to develop, to enlighten, to expand. Because a lot of times people much prefer to blame others and not take responsibility for what's going on inside of them. People are really afraid to do the work, because work is work. It is work. And I must also tell you, it's an ongoing process. This is not something that happens overnight. We are called to continuously, and if any of you know the word, is to work out our soul salvation. It's constantly being in progression, constantly journeying, constantly going to be more fruitful, to produce, to be a showcase of God's glory. And that requires purification. That requires self-examination for us to come forth and be the city on the hill, the light of the earth. So once again, it's not a passive posture. And as a leader, you can't be scared. Don't be scared now. Don't be scared to look inside of you. It is your responsibility to manage what is going on inside of you. It is your responsibility to manage your internal affairs. so it can reflect on the outside. And I must say that a lot of us are pretty good at managing the things on the outside of us. Just like I said in the beginning, we brand, we launch, we build, repeat. We brand, we launch, rebuild. And there's nothing wrong with taking care of your body, because we're called to be good stewards of everything. With that being said, cultivating the business of you is a part of your stewardship responsibility. I'll say that one more time. Cultivating the business of you is a part of your stewardship responsibility. Stewardship does not only pertain to the things outside of you, stewarding your money, stewarding your home, stewarding your family, stewarding your business. You are called to steward that what projects on the outside of you. Because what is going on the inside of you naturally reflects on the outside of you. And I'm sure many of you can think of examples and people of, based upon what I'm saying, ineffective leaders or people that you know that those internal workings are starting to produce on the outside. It also says in the word that out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. Out of the abundance of your heart, out of the abundance of your soul, your mind, will, your emotions, your mouth, your heart will speak, and it will reflect in the world. So that's another benefit. That's another key. That is another necessity and a reason for you to begin the cultivation of you. Cultivating the business of you also helps you as a leader in many, many ways. It helps you to respond instead of reacting. It helps you to process before you speak. It helps you to be more compassionate. It increases your effectiveness. And it also helps to expand your perspective and go beyond, like I did, your natural limitations. Your natural limitations. It helps you to not be wise in your own eyes. It helps you to be inclusive instead of exclusive. It helps you to become more culturally aware. It helps you to be more aware of the things the people around you have endured and how to respond to them, how to assist them, how to help them. It helps you to be more understanding, to be more loving with yourself and others. It helps you to be more kind to your neighbor, to your people, to the people around you. And I'm not saying you won't ever make a mistake, but it helps you to be able to go back into the center without condemning yourself. But it helps you to look inside of yourself and know there is something that is nagging at me. There is something trying to get my attention that needs to be healed, that needs to be tilled. And possibly there is a root inside of me. There is a weed that needs to be plucked. That's another reason that cultivating the business of you is the utmost importance. Lastly, cultivating cultivating the business of you is critical to your overall success. It is critical to your overall success because it is the blueprint to not being easily shaken when this world goes topsy-turvy. Now, I just want to pause right here because I know many of us know what this looks like and feels like, because all of us were present when we went through this pandemic the last couple of years. And it caused a lot of people during that time to unravel and really face themselves. And let's be honest, a lot of you did not like what you saw. You realized that you wasn't really standing on a firm foundation. You had really not done the self-care that you needed, that you really hadn't taken time for you to get to know who you are. That is also a part of cultivating the business of you. You begin to know who you are. You begin to trust yourself. You begin to understand yourself more, which also causes you to understand others. It helps you to be less judgmental. It helps you to see through more, like I said earlier, from a more compassionate eye. And what it also does for your success, it helps you to develop a growth mindset, a mindset that is continuously wanting to grow. that is continuously wanting to go beyond your natural limits. It's keeping you out of a stagnant place, that you are constantly growing and learning. As I said, we all know what that looks like when the world goes topsy-turvy, and we went through challenging times. In those moments that you face challenges, it's always an invitation to grow, to heal, to change. Anytime life faces you, it gives you the opportunity to heal, a challenge will be presented. Anytime life is trying to shift you, an opportunity to heal, to grow, to evolve will be presented to you. But it's up to you to decide to cultivate the business of you. This is why it's so imperative to start right now to develop yourself personally and spiritually. Because I have to say that the challenges in the world will not come to an end. But you must know inside of yourself, you have the capability to be greater, to be able to transcend your circumstances. You have what's inside of you. You already have what you need inside of you to create yourself out of a circumstance, to believe yourself out of a circumstance. You are now able to trust yourself to know that I will make it, that you will make it, because you have been through many storms before. So once you begin to cultivate the business of you, it helps you to not be easily shaken. As the word says, you become unshakable, unmovable, and like the tree firmly planted by living waters. Cultivation of you helps you to become firmly planted and rooted inside of you, which is the kingdom inside of you. Cultivating the business of you is also very empowering. It helps to boost your self-esteem because you learn that underneath your perceived inadequacies and your past mistakes, you're really a gift to the world. You're better than you thought you was. You're better than what society tried to tell you who you were. You are better than even some family members or friends try to tell you that you were. You're not stuck in an identity crisis. You have learned to trust yourself. You have learned to create boundaries. You have learned that freedom lies within. That true freedom lies within. If you don't remember anything, remember that cultivating the business of you helps you to build and know that freedom lies inside of you. Freedom is not an external experience, it's an internal affair. Once again, freedom is not an external experience, it's an internal affair. And that is what I am calling you to do. I am calling you to it. I am inviting you to begin the cultivation of you. Because it is time to build our resilience. It is time for you to show up as your authentic self. It is time for your self-esteem to shift. It is time for you to grow. It is time for you to evolve. It is time for you to take the limits off of you. It is time for you to become everything God called you to be. And that's what cultivating the business of you does. And to sum up this presentation, I will use my own book, Walk of a Warrior. I'll take this excerpt from it to kind of sum it up. I said, a warrior knows that the cultivation of their inner being is a prerequisite to growth. The cultivation of your inner being is a prerequisite. Now, many of you have been to college and you know, when you've been students before, that you cannot go to the next class. You cannot go into an advanced class until you take your prerequisites. You are not allowed to skip steps. In the cultivation process, it will not allow you to skip steps. You have to go through the steps of healing, developing, evolving, doing your work, being responsible for your actions, telling yourself the truth, because we are all leaders. We are all called to be influencers on the earth, in our families, in our communities. So you cannot grow until you go through the prerequisites of cultivating your inner being, taking the time to till the ground, to pluck up some weeds so you can grow and glow like God called you to. So lastly, the first one was cultivate your inner being, learn to live from the inside out. Take responsibility for your actions. Take an honest look at your life and see where you are today and where you want to go. Be responsible for yourself. Stop blaming. The second one is it helps you to become more of an effective leader. You will begin to process before you speak. You will become more compassionate. You'll be slow to speak and quick to listen. You'll be more culturally aware. You'll actually be able to build your business more effectively because you learn what the people around you need, not what you think they need. Okay. And lastly, cultivating the business of you is beneficial to your overall success because it is your blueprint. It is your blueprint to building resilience. And once again, as we already know, that when we all walked through the pandemic together, there was no big I's, no little U's in this pandemic. That resilience was imperative. That it was important to be anchored and rooted within yourself. So now, if you would like to learn more about Warrior Lifestyle Solutions and the solutions that I bring, and if you want to purchase my book, and I even have Warrior Class tees that it exudes living whole and living bold and living free, I would invite you to go to Warrior Lifestyle Solutions or warriorlifestyle.org, and you will find a free gift there just for you to get you started on the journey of cultivating the business of you. Once again, I thank you so much for this opportunity and your time. Don't let the world define you. Begin to cultivate the business of you. God bless you all and have a good day. Bye-bye.
The RedefineU Summit was created with you in mind. We are gearing up for next year's summit and we want you. Are you an author, speaker, coach, business owner, or leader in your industry? If your answer is yes, we want to work with you. Speaking during a global summit such as this is an excellent way to increase your brand awareness, share your message with a new audience, and increase your clientele. If you'd like to apply to become a speaker, please visit www.RedefineUSummit.com to schedule a free call with someone from our team.
Are you ready to unleash the power of your pen and write your way to success and wholeness in every area of your life? Our journals help you find your purpose, birth your business, achieve your health goals, grow spiritually, and pursue healing from trauma. Indie Writes began because I saw the impact of intentional journaling on not just my mental and spiritual well-being, but also on my goals and my dreams. I started to question my thoughts and behaviors, seek solutions, and obtain strategies for success in the Word of God. Learn more at IndieWrites.com.
Join the Inspire You Network text community to receive a dose of inspiration sent straight to your mobile device. To sign up, text the word INSPO to 833-749-0420.
Calling all brand builders and content creators. Do you have an impactful message that you would like to share with millions? If your answer is yes, then you need a television show. Has television slots for creators to amplify their voices, impact the lives of others, while sharing their message with the masses. Our shows are aired in over 200 million homes across the US, UK, Canada, and in over 100 countries and continents. This opportunity is a great way for you to expand your brand, increase your income, and reach millions. If you are interested, text the word TVOS to 833-749-0420 for more information. The InspireU Network is more than a television network, it's a movement. Check out our new merchandise. These empowerment tees are sure to inspire and encourage everyone you meet. All sales will go towards helping single mothers and feeding the homeless. So grab a tee and support the movement. Please visit www.theinspireunetwork.com/shop.